You know that feeling, right? You put on a song you've loved for years, you crank up the volume, and it just doesn't hit the same. It's like some of the magic is gone. Well, today we're going to dive into why that happens and take a look at a piece of tech that's designed to bring every single one of those lost details right back to you. It's a feeling I think we've all had. You put on that classic track, turn it up, but the punch, the clarity, it just isn't there. It's almost like you're listening to it through a thick blanket or something. And this really breaks down into some specific, super common frustrations. The bass might just sound like a muddy thud with no real definition. The singer's voice kind of gets lost in the mix. Or, and this is the worst, it all just collapses into this big wall of sound where you can't pick out any of the instruments. All those cool little details the artist put in there, poof, gone. So what's the fix? Well, the material we're digging into today points to a pretty specific solution for these exact problems. It introduces a piece of gear that was built from the ground up to completely change how we listen, the HIFIMAN SUNDARA headphones. And the key idea here is that this isn't just another product. It's really framed as a gateway, a tool that unlocks a whole other level of audio quality, what people call high fidelity or hi-fi. The goal is super simple, to get you closer to the original recording. Okay, so what makes them so different? The secret is all in the core technology. This isn't the same stuff you find in your average pair of earbuds. This is the engineering magic behind that crystal clear sound. And that secret is called planar magnetic technology. Now, instead of a traditional little cone speaker being pushed back and forth, this design uses a super thin flat sheet, they call it a diaphragm, that's moved by a magnetic field. Because it's so light and it's controlled so evenly across its whole surface, it can react unbelievably fast and precisely to the music signal. And you can really see the difference when you put them side by side. On the right, you got your traditional dynamic drivers. They work, but they can be a bit slower, and that can lead to distortion. But on the left, you see the planar magnetic driver is just a whole different beast. That thin, flat surface gives it a lightning-fast response with way, way less distortion. It's a completely different way of making sound. So what does all that tech actually do for you when you're listening? Well, it boils down to three amazing things. First, detail. You're going to hear tiny things you've literally never noticed before, like a musician taking a breath or the faint shimmer of a cymbal fading out. Second, speed. Sharp sounds like a snare drum hit sound incredibly crisp and real, not mushy. And finally, something called soundstage. Instead of the music feeling like it's trapped inside your head, it feels like the band is right there in the room with you. It's wild. But, great sound isn't just about the drivers inside. The actual physical design of the headphones is also a huge part of the equation, and it's all engineered to get the absolute most out of that technology. It all starts with this philosophy of sonic purity. The goal here isn't to add a bunch of extra booming bass or artificially sharp highs. It's all about delivering a neutral, uncolored sound. What that means is you're not hearing the headphones' version of the music, you're hearing the music itself, just the way the artist and the engineers wanted you to hear it in the studio. And this is a perfect example of how form follows function. You see that metal casing? It's not just there to look cool or be durable, though it is both of those things. It actually provides acoustic stability. A solid structure like that prevents the headphone's own body from vibrating and adding weird noise or resonance that can totally mess with the music. The design choices also have a massive impact on comfort and the very nature of the sound. The over-ear fit, that's for those long listening sessions so you can get lost in a whole album without your ears getting sore. And the open back design is absolutely key. It lets sound escape, which stops it from bouncing around inside the ear cup and creates that wide open, almost concert hall-like feeling. Now, the one trade-off with any open back headphone is that they leak sound out and they let sound in. So these are really meant for quiet, dedicated listening at home, not for the subway. Okay, so we've geeked out on the tech, we've talked about the design. Let's bring it all together and talk about the ultimate payoff. What does this all mean for you and your connection to the music you love? This right here is the whole point. All of this incredible engineering, it all serves this one simple goal, to get you as close as humanly possible to what the artist heard in the recording studio. It's about removing the hardware as a barrier between you and the actual music. So you can think of it like this. It's an investment in your passion for music. It's about finally hearing that subtle backup vocal hiding in the mix, or the actual texture of a bow moving across a cello string. It's about feeling the music in a way that can honestly rekindle why you fell in love with your favorite albums in the first place. It's presented as something more than just better sound. It's like a new way of listening, a kind of audiophile adventure that can fundamentally change your relationship with the songs you already know by heart.
And that brings us right back to where we started, but with a whole new perspective. After looking at the tech, the design, and the philosophy behind it all, the final question isn't just about missing sounds, it's about missing experiences. So, are